Hello. How y'all doing? This is Dow Brown and my man Laney Lane. We are here for the advanced sports recording class, recording a live radio show like we do every Thursday between 12 o'clock and whatever time we choose. I hope everybody's having a great day today. How you doing, Lane?
I'm doing good.
We're going to jump into some LC sports real quick now. LC football, they lost. Well, first off, it's homecoming week, so happy homecoming to everybody at LC, all alumni, and any Wildcat fans. Now, LC football dropped another one last week, and now they have the best team in the conference coming into their house in Langston University. So it should be a good game, and I'm hoping that they can come back with the W. Now, LC basketball is officially tipped off men's. They are 2-0. First game, they beat Lindsey Wilson College 72 to 53, and they had a nail biter the other night versus Philander Smith College, and they won that because of a last-second three-point effort that was a no-go. So they won that 59 to 56 in a very close ball game. They only went up a few points at the half, so I'm looking forward towards that. And LSUA also kicked off their basketball season, so come January, February, we will see a lot more action. Nothing matters right now, but when conference starts, that's when everything is gonna be great. LC football kicks off on Saturday at 2 p.m. Lane, will you be at that game?
No, I will not.
I understand that completely. I have stuff I have to do too. I will be helping 446 Sports, my internship, do some recording over the weekend of some ACEL high school championship games such as volleyball and the championship football game. But enough about that. Let's finish up this roundup of LC sports now. Men's soccer has officially been eliminated from the postseason. They're having a good year record-wise, but conference-wise, it's over with. Hopefully next season can be a better season. They can cap off a 10-win season this weekend by winning their last two. Jarvis Christian tonight and Texas College on Saturday. Reminder, LC basketball plays Saturday at 4 o'clock against University of Mobile. Now, speaking of soccer, women's soccer is on a tear. They are 12-1-1 on the season, with their lone loss being to Lamar, which is a D1 school, and their lone tie coming last weekend versus the University of Southwest in New Mexico. Tonight they face Jarvis Christian at 5 o'clock. And depending on what happens with Southwest tonight versus LSUS, well, in about an hour or so, this will either be a regular game or it'll be a regular season championship game. So it all depends on if Southwest wins or loses. So Lane, since you're not going to the football game, are you gonna go to at least the soccer game on Saturday at 6 o'clock? Well, Saturday, if the women's win today and they win Saturday, Coach Carla Tejas will be the winningest coach in program history. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure I'm here for that. Have my camera out and everything. Now, enough about LC sports. Let's get into some quick college football hits. Now, in the FCS, we don't have many Louisiana schools in the top 10, in the top 25. I mean, but we have Southeastern at number 8, and they're doing a quite an amazing job. They've only lost one game all year. They are 6-1, and their quarterback is third in the nation. In passing. Cole Kelly with 2,742 yards in the air. But Nichols has one of the top rushers in the entire FCS, and it's their quarterback, Lindsey Scott, who is number 6 with 789 yards. Southeastern has the second best scoring offense with 50.7 points per game. But their defense isn't top 10, unfortunately. Now, we know over the weekend we had LSU play, we had some upsets, and sad to say, but I don't think LSU is gonna be good for a good little minute. Did you watch the LSU game, Lane? So, what were your thoughts on the LSU game?
I just think that Ole Miss is just a better team, and Matt Corral is in the running for a Heisman season this year, and Ole Miss has just got an explosive offense. Their defense is doing pretty good also. But LSU, they took out Max Johnson and put in Neusmeyer, and he scored the lone touchdown. So I don't know if Coach O's just trying to do anything just to get wins before he leaves, because that's basically what he needs to do, just prove that he can win games even as he's leaving out. But right now it's conference play for the rest of the season except for the ULM game, so it's going to be a tough road ahead before he's going for the season.
I think that Coach O can win some more games, but it will be tough. I feel as though that he has an I don't care attitude, and he has an I don't care attitude, but in a positive way, because he knows he's going at the end of the season. He doesn't have to worry about recruiting. He's going to take a year off and be with his kids and his family. So,
if they could get this team right and going like they need to be going, they could potentially upset either the 3 SEC teams they have, being Texas A&M, Arkansas, and Alabama. I don't see it happening, but a coach with nothing to lose is very dangerous. They pull out everything in their playbook, and they just, like you said, have a don't care attitude, because they don't have to worry about next season. They just have to worry about these next few, I think it's 4 games. Just nothing to lose and everything to gain, because after next year, who says he doesn't come back to coaching and coach somewhere else? And he needs to, this is where he proves that he can still be a good quality coach.
I agree with you. A man who has nothing to lose, well, excuse me, not man, a person who has nothing to lose is the most dangerous person you can ever be around. That's like, it's like you trying to rob somebody who's telling you to pull the trigger. He or she has nothing to lose at that point. And the person who's trying to do the robbing is now more afraid of the person who has nothing to lose, more than accomplishing their goal. So honestly, I feel like if Coach O wants to, if he does try to, coach again, I feel like he should take an NFL job as a D-line coach and go from there, because at the end of it all, being a college coach, I think, is way more stressful than being an NFL coach. Because being an NFL coach, yes, you're paying your players. However, in college you have no excuse, depending on the school that you're at, you have no excuse as to why you can't properly build the program. But when it comes to the NFL, you have to pay everybody, and and you necessarily can't get the best players. So he may go into a situation where he stays in Louisiana and he's the D-line coach for the Saints. Or everybody's talking about the USC job. Maybe he goes to California and he does something with the Rams or the Chargers. Maybe, since he's so scandalous right now, he'll probably end up with the Raiders. And like, LSU fans I think LSU fans have officially given up on the season, and here's why. Alabama put out a tweet saying that the opposition, there have been so many ticket cancellations from the opposition to where there are more tickets available for the LSU Alabama game now. So Tiger fans are completely out on the season, and I don't blame them. But it's gonna be dangerous, because if I guarantee you, I'm not saying it will happen, but I guarantee, if LSU was able to upset Alabama, the fact that Alabama's gonna have a 2-loss record, it's going to be scary for the rest of Alabama's opponents, but it's going to make Ed Orgeron look so good, to where knowing that his I don't care attitude releases something that makes his coaching even better. I don't think they'll beat Alabama, but anything can happen. Now, speaking about Alabama, they are the number 3 team in the nation, and we have a good bit of SEC teams in the top 25. Georgia number 1, Alabama 3. We have Ole Miss at 10, Kentucky at 12, Texas A&M at 14, Auburn at 18. That's a quarter of the SEC right there. You're just missing LSU. Now, it is sad how LSU has fallen, because I'm gonna name some teams that you probably never heard of in the top 25, and I'm gonna go from 25 on up. BYU at 25. Well, you heard about Coastal Carolina last year, but they're at 24. UTSA 23. Iowa State 22, San Diego State 21, Pittsburgh 17, Wake Forest 13, Notre Dame 11. Well, they're always in the top 25 because of their name. Iowa 9, Michigan State 8, and the biggest surprise. Well, the 2 biggest surprises, Michigan at 6, because Michigan will start hot, but once they start conference and they lose to Ohio State, everything goes downhill. And Cincinnati at number 2. The last time Cincinnati was a top contender, Brian Kelly was the head coach at Cincinnati. And the moment he left, Cincinnati has gone down. And the funny thing is, he left right before their bowl game, and they lost that bowl game in a bad fashion. So, hopefully this weekend, there are a lot of people who will play, but hopefully this weekend the top 25 gets shaken up a bit. And it's Penn State. Come on. Penn State is trash. Again, it's Penn State. They haven't been good. Penn State has not been good since Bill O'Brien. And he shook up the program. And he shook up the program in a positive way. And that was right after the Sandusky cases. So, you never know. Maybe Bill O'Brien, if James Franklin leaves, he'll end up back at Penn State. And speaking about college coaches leaving and college jobs, there has been a rumor surrounding Mike Tomlin possibly going to the USC. He's already spoken about that, and he literally said he would never, ever leave his job for a college job. And there's no reason to entertain it. Why? He's been with Pittsburgh for a million years now. He's never had a losing season. He's only missed the playoffs once, and that's with a winning record. Why would he leave? The only way I would ever see Mike Tomlin leave is if he knows that there's no way he can win with the team that he has. And really think about it. If Mike Tomlin, a black coach, ended up at, let's say Mike Tomlin ended up at Alabama after Saban retires in a few years, or the next decade, can you imagine how much stronger that program's going to be? Or what if, dare I say it, what if Tomlin left and pulled the D on him and he ends up at an HBCU? Imagine how many recruits would want to play for a former NFL head coach. You already have Hugh Jackson being the OC for Tennessee State. And it's gonna lead to more and more jobs. So I really do look forward to what's to come and what happens next. Now, let's go to the most important thing of one of the most important subjects of the day, and that's high school football. Reclassifications have officially started. It was imminent yesterday, and there have been a lot of key moves, but one of the biggest moves was Evangeline, moving from the big boys to the little kids. But as of this morning, Evangeline opted to play back up into 4A instead of being at 1A. And the second biggest thing is Carr has officially moved into 5A. Cards officially moved into 5A. And Cameron Crowe. So it's gonna be very, very interesting. And here's the most interesting part about it. They're officially applying for Catholic League district status. So imagine it's gonna be official if they're in the Catholic League. Now, and John Curtis also moved down to, I think they moved down to 2A or 1A because of their numbers. So it's gonna be next season will be one of the best. Now, is Tioga still at 4A? Well, I wish you had that reclassification 2 years ago when y'all had Blake, huh? Y'all be talking about speakeringsies. Now, one of the most surprising but not surprising things for me is that Bel Air High School in Baton Rouge, who has always been a 4 or 5A school, and they've historically have been bad at every single sport. I'm sorry, but this year they're doing spectacular. They're 5-2. This will be their first official 5-win season in I don't know how long. And it'll be their first 6-win season in I don't know how long. And they might end up with a district title. They're being moved all the way down to 3A because of their numbers. And honestly, I think it's a really good move. And I know you have a take on Grant being moved. So how do you feel about that?
A few years ago, Grant was in 4A. Never really. They weren't as good as they are now. By a long shot. They've gotten way better than they were. I don't know if it's because they went down to 3A, but I don't think that's the only reason. They got a very good coach, Dylan Barrett. They are losing a very good senior class. So in my opinion, right now they're a big fish in a small pond. Really is. Because just look what happened when they played Gino, a very good 3A school. They lost 31-0. Now, I love my boys from Grant, but that's just the truth. When they moved to 4A, and I'm not just saying that because Tioga's in 4A, it's going to be every team. Leesville, even DeRitter. Then they got to play. And I'm hearing rumors that since now Bolton is now 3A, that instead of the district being Tioga, DeRitter, Leesville, Bolton, and there's one more team. I don't remember. Peabody. That they're going to change it back to how it was a few years ago, back to where Tioga and Grant are in the same district as Neville and Bastrop and Washington.
That sounds like a hurt for travel. But nonetheless, it's nothing you can really do about it, but all you can do is walk it down and just handle your business. All you can do is just, relax and fight it out. All you can do is literally just fight it out and win as much as you can.
What games we got this week, Daryl, for high school?
Okay, here we go. All right, the first game on the docket, Pickering at Kinder.
I take Pickering.
I'll say Kinder might do something. Menard at Vols.
Oh, Vols gonna.
Yeah, I say it Vols. Montgomery at Block.
Montgomery.
I call Montgomery. Buckeye at Caldwell.
Caldwell.
I'll go Caldwell. Slaughter, Charter at Grant.
Grant.
I'll go Grant. Natchitoches Central at Houghton.
We'll go at Houghton.
I'll go Natchitoches Central. They got a lot to prove. Marksville at Gina.
Gina.
I'll go Gina. Marshall ain't that good this year. Winfield at Lakeview.
Go with Winfield. They beat Bucky last week.
I'll go Winfield. Bunky's garbage. St. Mary's at Logansport.
Let's go with St. Mary's.
I'll go Logansport. Bunky at Manning. That's not even a discussion.
Manny. By a long shot.
Manning. LaSalle at Northwood.
Yeah, I'll go with LaSalle.
I'm going to go Northwood. They're having a good year. Rose Pine at Oakdale.
Rose Pine.
I'll say Rose Pine. All right, Ash at Ouachita.
Ash.
It's tough because Ouachita, oh yes, the streak is over. The streak is over. I forgot to mention it. The streak is officially over. West Monroe went down in double overtime last Friday night versus Ouachita. It was, yes, double overtime, 35-34 at West Monroe. At West Monroe. It is hard to do, but they did it. DeRitter at Peabody.
DeRitter.
DeRitter. Leesville at Tioga.
I'll go with Tioga, of course, but our quarterback got hurt last week versus Eunice, and in my opinion, our guys are just acting like they want the season to be over. Yeah, they don't really have the passion about the year anymore, but I'll always say go Indians.
I have to go Leesville. All right, there's no reason for me to even ask, but the hometown team versus West Monroe. West Monroe by a long shot. Yes, we love the Rebels. Don't get us wrong. We love the Rebels, but we have to be realistic. We have to pick games with a realistic feel to it. Now there are a lot of changes again with high school football. So we have playoff standings as of right now. So if playoffs were to, if playoffs were to happen right now in 5A, the teams that would miss would be Covington, East St. John, Pineville, Walker, and Thibodaux. You have Captain Shreve at 1. You got Ruston at 3. Natchitoches Central at 9. Ouachita at 11. Alexandria at 12. West Monroe at 16. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Because if West Monroe, whoever West Monroe was gonna have to play either John Arrett or H.O. Burgess. John Arrett is 15, H.O. Burgess is 17. So the bad thing about that is whoever wins out of those two, they have to play number 1 seed. So West Monroe would have to play Captain Shreve. And Woodlawn BR is at 22. Denham Springs is at 27. Live Oak is at 30. And Lafayette is at 31. Now in 4A we have Edna Carr at number 1, of course. Neville at 2. Warren Easton at 8. Surprisingly, Bel Air at 11. Karen Crow at 12. Leesville at 13. Estroma at 22. Opelousas at 24. Tioga at 27. Y'all got the hard luck of the draw. Probably so. Probably so. Now, the top 5 teams to miss would be Brobridge, Booker T. Washington, Shreve, Woodlawn, Shreve, Morgan City, and North Vermilion. In 3A, you got St. James at 6, Union Parish at 8, Gina at 9, Madison Prep at 11, Donaldsonville at 20, Grant at 23, Marksville at 28, so they're just squeaking in. And the top 5 to miss: Boisier, Frederick A. Douglass, Mamou, McDowell 35, and Buckeye. Alright, 2A, you got Manny at number 1. Bowles at 2. You got Port Allen at 7. Rose Pine at 10. Red River at 9. Kentwood at 17, which is shocking. DeQuincy at 22. Kinder at 26. Capital and Baton Rouge, number 27. And Bunkie squeaking in at 31. Top 5 to miss: Independence, like Arthur, Faraday, Lakeside, and Vidalia. Now, here we go, Class 1A. Logansport at number 1. Slaughter Community at number 3. Then going down the list, Northwood Lean at 16, but that's a bad draw. They're either gonna have to play Centuryville or Arcadia. Yeah, you got Block, who's 0-8 at 22. And at top 5 to miss: North Central, Sicily Island, Tensas, Magnolia School of Excellence, and Elton. Division 1, where my school is, you got Catholic at number 1, Byrd at 2, Jesuit at 3, Curtis at 6, Scotlandville at 8, McKinley, unfortunately, at number 11, but that's only because Brother Martin had to forfeit their first 5 games. But Brother Martin is at 12. So everybody gets in these divisions mostly. Now Division 2, you got E.D. White number 1, U-High at 2, St. Thomas More at 5, even though they're doing horrible. Liberty, a first year varsity program, at number 8, Parkview at 10, Evangeline at 11, and to miss the playoffs, Ben Franklin at 17. Division 3, you got Lafayette Christian at 1. You got Episcopal BR at 4. Isidore at 5. Dunham at 6. And you got Menard squeaking in at 11. That's tough. Division 4, Sacred Heart at 1. Calvary Baptist at 2. St. Mary's at 5. Southern Lab at 6. And those who miss it: Glenbrook, Westminster Christian, Cedar Creek, Covenant Christian, and Highland Baptist. The worst part about that is Westminster Christian and Glenbrook are 6-2, and they have Riverside, who is 2-4 at number 14. And that doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense, but you know how things work in the LHSAA. All right, we're about to head up with our NFL quick hits. Who you got tonight? You got the Packers or the Cardinals?
Cardinals, all the way.
Packers, I believe in Rodgers all the way. Bengals at Jets.
Bengals will tear them up.
Yes, Bengals. Only because of Joe Burrow. Titans at Colts.
King Henry is making a stand for MVP this year.
I believe in King Henry. Yes, he is, but I'm gonna have to go with the Colts. They got to do something. Rams, Texans.
Rams.
Always the Rams. Steelers and Browns.
Browns.
I go Steelers because they want revenge. Eagles at Lions.
Eagles.
I'm about to be risky saying this, but I'm going Lions.
I think the Lions go 0-17 this year. I hope they don't, but it just feels like they will.
I'm going Lions. I'm sorry, I gotta be risky. 49ers and Bears.
Niners. I
say Bears. Justin Fields needs to handle his business. Because if it's Lance versus Fields, it's gonna be some stuff. I agree. The Bears don't know how to. They don't know how to handle business. NFC South matchup: Panthers and Falcons.
If you asked me this 3 weeks ago when Panthers were on that 4-0 tear, I'd say Panthers. But I think the Falcons are going to win. Matty Ice is finally clicking with Kyle Pitts. So, that's lethal.
I go Matty Ice all the way because I don't like either one of these fools. Dolphins and Bills.
Dolphins and Bills. Bills all the way. Josh Allen. Probably my favorite quarterback.
I know the Bills are going to win, but I'm going to be risky again. Tua has a lot to prove now because they don't want him. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Patriots and Chargers.
Of course, I'm always going to go for the Patriots, but Chargers are just a very good team. Justin Herbert is showing that he's an elite quarterback.
I'm going with the Pats because Belichick has a lot to prove to the rest of the league right now. Jaguars and Seahawks.
I could see the upset. I could see it happening. Seahawks are not playing up to their potential this year, even without Wilson. But that's not an excuse.
I'm gonna go Jaguars. I know the Seahawks are probably gonna win, but I'm taking a risk today. I'm gonna go Jags. I believe in Irvin. All right. Washington and the Broncos.
Broncos. Looks like they're getting Jerry Jeudy back this week, and he's just going to start where he left off last year.
I say Broncos. They have a lot more to prove than ever. They have a lot more to prove. A lot to prove. All right. The worst game. Well, yeah, the worst game on the schedule. Cowgirls and Purple People Eaters.
I'm going to Cowboys on that one. I'm just loving how Dak is playing this year. Again, comeback player of the year is going to be Dak Prescott. And if he keeps going like he's going, he has a chance to be MVP also. But yeah, Cowboys. I think the era of Kirk Cousins is over. They need to build around Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson. Get them a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. But the defense is not horrible. They need a better secondary. Patrick Peterson is not the answer. In fact, he's hurt now. But when he was playing, he wasn't really playing up to his potential. But yeah, the Cowboys are doing good on both sides of the ball this year, so I'm going to pick the Cowboys.
I don't like either one of these things, but realistically, I'm going to go with the Cowboys. All right, the best game on Sunday, Bucks at Saints.
Go with the Bucks. It's very hard to stop that Bucs offense.
I'm going to go with the Saints. I say they split the series in the regular season. And the very last game, the first game of November, Monday night game, Giants and Chiefs. I'm going Giants because the Chiefs suck right now.
On paper, it does not look like it's a close game, but in all reality, I don't know what's going on in Kansas City right now. The defense is terrible. Everybody's just burning them. Patrick Mahomes is not living up to his potential at all. Yes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is hurt, but they're usually passing the ball anyways, so that's not the excuse. Tyreek Hill is dropping a lot of balls, and that's really the whole wide receiver core. But with all that being said, I don't see the Giants beating them just because they have so many injuries on the receivers. They have Cordavius Toney. He's coming back. Should be coming back this week. Sterling Shepard and I forget their other receiver. Kenny Galladay. They're still hurt. They may be coming back this week, but and of course Saquon Barkley's out. So yeah, I don't see the Giants pulling it off. I think it's going to be a close game though, and that should not be said knowing the Chiefs, what the Chiefs have in their resume. But in all reality, it's just how the NFL goes. You're not always as good as you are. So, but I'll still pick the Chiefs in that one.
Well, before I close out, I do want to say the Chiefs have had a down year, but anything can happen, honestly. Daniel Jones has more to prove than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has already gotten paid. Daniel Jones in his last year of his I think either second to last year or last year of his contract. So it's a prove year for a lot of players. So hopefully it goes in the Giants' favor, and you'll see a 3-5 Chiefs team. I don't want them to be 3-5, but they're playing like they wanna, not be the best. They're playing like they have a chip on their shoulder, and they do because of that Super Bowl loss. But they're playing like every game was that Super Bowl. So I hope everybody has a great day, and we look forward to chatting with you and talking to you again next time. This has been Daryl and Lane for the Advanced Sports Reporting class here at LC. Y'all have a great day.